disease problems, they called it disease, that attacked children those days was convulsions. And because very few people, if you call the doctor in, you had to pay. It wasn't a national health, you had to pay. So very few people would be at the last resort before they call the doctor in. But in this garden there was a tree, a small green bush, call it, and it was a root plant, R-H-E-W, root plant. And my grandmother lived with us, so she was what I would call old-fashioned, and we were brought up probably a bit in the old-fashioned way. And one of the remedies to help if the baby suffered convulsions was to boil the leaves off this root plant, boil them, then sieve it, and then they would put the water into the baby's bottle, and you had to get to drink it that way. And that was what we always were led to believe was a cure for convulsions, and that was from the root plant. Next door lived a family named Riders, and why that name remains in my memory a lot is because illegally or legally, I would say illegally, they sold cigarettes, packets of cigarettes, 5 Woodbines, 10 Woodbines, and even in my days on the railway, they'd say nip across to Riders and get a packet of fags. So those two families. Then there was a row, I think about 4 cottages, probably now. But why this remains in my memory so much, that the guy at the end of the road next to Lloyd's testing house going that way into Sotney, with a bloke named Edwards. I'm not sure whether he worked at Henry Woods or not, but why his name and he was so familiar to us, because on regular occasions he would walk down Boundary Lane and down Green Lane and probably head towards Bollerton with a double-barreled shotgun that wasn't covered up. It would be over his shoulder. And it was just an accepted figure of life he was. Where he was going out shooting, whether he was shooting rabbits or what the hell, I don't know, but he was a regular walker down, and always with the double-barreled rifle on his shoulder.